tí wọ́n jẹ́ kò kárí ẹgbẹ́ àwọn ọ̀gbìn igi bàbá wa ṣe Peter Adétóyèṣe Adéwọyè kan wá sí orí àgbáyé. Láì fi àkókò ṣòfò púpọ̀, we'd like to proceed to the next on the agenda, which is welcome address. Very good enough. I can be privileged to today. Welcome address delivered by the State Coordinator, Nigerian Export Promotion Council, Osun State Coordinating Office, Osogbo, at the Day Export Clinic team, Understanding Export Business at Halatria Hotel, Osogbo, on Tuesday, 5th March 2023. The Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Commerce and Industry in absentia, Honorable Commissioner, Ministry of Agriculture and Rural Development in absentia, and if your representative is here with announcement, the Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Commerce, the State Coordinator, Nigerian Export Promotion Council, State Coordinators, other federal ministry, departments, and agencies present, members of the Vice Table, the executive participants, the press, ladies and gentlemen. It's my pleasure to welcome our esteemed participants to today's series of export planning with the same understanding export business. This is part of the effort of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council in its mind to promoting the development and diversification of Nigerian economy in ensuring that information gaps are bridged to the benefit of exporters, especially at the grassroots level. This sensitization workshop is aimed at educating exporters, potential exporters, and other regular stakeholders on the readiness of export trade, including the procedures and documentation required in export business. It has come to our notice that a large number of exporters, especially small, medium enterprises, and trade associations lack the basic knowledge on the requirements while preparing for export business. This is why the Council has resolved to embark on this sensitization workshop to educate members of the Osun State business community on the rule subject. Distinguished ladies and gentlemen, there is no doubt that understanding the rudiments of exports cannot be concluded in a one single program like this, as it is really a very broad subject. The State Coordinating Office of the Nigerian Export Promotion Council has therefore developed a model, and the exercise will be carried out in phases, with focus on different aspects of the export business. Why it serves as the first leg, we hope to put in place the second phases in not too long distance. The term export refers to a product or service produced in one country but sold to the buyer abroad. It is a strategic move that can open doors to increase revenue and global recognition for your brand or business. These and many more are the reasons why intending and new exporters need to understand the export business. For many of us, the process of venturing into the world of exports may seem complex, riddled with several bedrock, bottlenecks, and uncertainties. Yet, it is precisely in moments like this that our resolve is tested, and our capacity for growth is truly revealed. For avoidance of doubt, the objective of this essential workshop are to provide newly registered exporters with a general overview in the export world, to have interactive engagement with newly registered exporters, potential exporters, and stakeholders on the requirements for exports, to expose newly registered and potential exporters to the opportunities that abound in the non-oil export business, to equip exporters, particularly the newly registered one, with relevant information about export business. So this program will provide invaluable guidance, offering a wealth of essential information, insights, and foster invaluable connections on the impact that your business will have on the economy. And empower you with the tool and knowledge to navigate exports, the complexity of non-oil export in international markets. The lack of understanding of export business often makes it to appear it is filled with challenges, not considering the opportunities. Imagine the impact that your business will have made on the economy of Osun State and Nigeria at large if we leverage on the opportunities in the non-oil exports. Our gathering here today will bring a great impact to us, our community, our state, and Nigeria as a whole, if we are able to grab what have come to them and we put it to use. Consequently, I urge you all to take advantage of this platform provided by the Council and the knowledge of the resources to acquaint yourself with all the necessary information required to sail smoothly in the course of your venturing into the non-oil export business. Once again, I welcome you all. And And thank you for creating time to be part of this program. I wish you all a very rewarding and productive participation. Thank you very much. God bless. Yes, we want to welcome keynote address. Presently, we see our way commissioner. And the PS. Think on waiting for their arrival. We will be able to proceed to our first presentation. Oh, what a time! Please, the round of our PS. We can give a standing ovation for such a timely welcome. So we welcome you, man. The permanent secretary, give her a round of applause. For just a time, officers of various others, associations, we recognize you and we say thank you for coming. Of the Permanent Secretary in the person of Mrs. Obire, who is the Deputy Director in the Osun State Ministry of Commerce, and Mr. Unibide. Now we would like to listen to the welcome address.
Good morning, sir. Good morning, ma'am. State Coordinator, Mr. David, I greet you. All other dignitaries on the table, I greet you all, sir. All protocols duly observed. A keynote address delivered by Mrs. Osun State Permanent Secretary, Ministry of Commerce and Industry, on behalf of Honorable Commissioner for Commerce and Industry, Osun State, Reverend Umitengo, at the one-day export clinic for new exporters with the theme Understanding Export Business, organized by Nigerian Export Promotion Council, Osogbo Smart Office, held on Tuesday, 5th March 2024 at Halatria, opposite Osogbo City Stadium. I'm highly delighted to be here this morning to deliver this keynote address at this one-day export clinic for new exporters, organized by Nigerian Export Promotion Council. There is no doubt in the past that the seminar is coming up at a critical time in the history of the nation as a whole. This is the time the country is struggling with hard economy. It's a common belief that one of the ways to strengthen our currency is through exportation. In the early 70s to 80s, Nigerian currency is stronger than the dollar, as $1 is equivalent to 80 naira there. This was possible because Nigeria as a country was notable for exportation of agricultural products like cocoa, coconut, rubber, cashew, and so on. Then this started in Osun when the crude oil was discovered. It is important to know that cocoa house in Ibadan was built with the proceeds from cocoa exportation. The country shifted all our attention to the exploration of the crude oil and the detriment of the agricultural produce. Today, we are all living witnesses to the suffering in the land as a result of this neglect. A segment of this nature is therefore a welcome development. Osun State is naturally endowed with abundant agricultural, forestry, solid mineral and human resources. It has in abundance mineral deposits such as gold, clay, mica, tar, feldspar, calciferite, and kaolin. Agricultural crops such as cocoa, kola nut, yam, cocoyam, sweet potato, rice, palm produce, fruits, and vegetables thrive excellently in the state. However, these agricultural and solid minerals resources remain underutilized as little efforts were made towards exploitation and processing of these resources with the objective for value addition. The 2023 Osun Trade Fair is an eye-opener to the fact that the state has all what it takes to feed our citizens and even boost our internally generated revenue if attention is given to the exportation of these products. All the 30 local governments and area offices showcased all these natural resources in agriculture and mining. There is no single local government that doesn't have more than 2 or more exportable products. I know the efforts of Nigerian Export Promotion Council, most especially the efforts of the State Coordinator, Mr. Halatria, and his team for organizing this seminar, and I equally congratulate the participants. I congratulate you for having this opportunity. It's a big opportunity, and please kindly make use of it. When you are giving the basis of or rudiments of a team, there is no way success will not be achieved. So, I'm seizing this opportunity to implore every one of you to pay a rapt attention to every lecture and ask questions where necessary, so that your attendance will not be a wasted effort. I equally want to thank the organizer of this program, not when training here. Necessary assistance and follow-up should be given all the participants to ensure that the objectives of the seminar are fully realized. Please, there is need for follow-up so that it will not be a wasted seminar. I wish you all a successful celebration. Thank you and God bless.
Today I was off for 2 years. I would like to welcome the State Coordinator, Nigerian Export Promotion Council. It's a Sunday when you're there to take on this invitation. I appreciate it. Thank you very much.
Good morning. Once again, let me welcome you anytime because we call and you don't talk, you can't force you out of various forms. So, anybody that will really understand that our relationship is like give and take. So, at least we'll clear our path and we are ready to collaborate because my sincere appreciation to the representative of the Honorable Commissioner for Commerce and Industry, Reverend President, who is represented by the Council, mommy, Mrs. Kennedy, already wrong. Let me personally appreciate her that no matter how tight the situation is, whenever we call, she's always on ground with us. I want to appreciate the chairman of AFA, chairman of palm oil processors, as a leading partner in this business. We also do this song, and the custom their way. Let me also present one of our daddies on the high tables there. Meeting for the first time, I'm here to have the right next level with you. Thank you so much for coming. Implementation requirements. Because if we don't understand exactly what the operational environment around export is, it might be difficult for us to be able to understand how to assess some of the opportunities and potentials, perhaps incentives and the rest of them. So, this morning, we'll take the lead presentation, which is understanding export business. And my outline, we'll be looking at the basic functions of NEPC and the Nigerian Export Promotion Council as an organization. We'll take a look at the steps required in exporting. We'll outline what we need to do and export organizations that are relevant in the course of export business from Nigeria, precisely as it affects non-oil exports. And maybe there we'll draw the curtain and move to the next level, where we will be able to dwell much on the procedures and the documentation. By virtue of introduction, the Nigerian Export Promotion Council was established by Decree 26 of 1976. Of course, this decree, this act, the decree was not to act, and there are various amendments between now and then just to strengthen the organization to be able to deliver on its mandates. And the whole essence of setting up the organization is to diversify the Nigerian economic base. We all understand that prior to the discovery of oil, there are quite a number of things that we also do that will get money, and by the grace of God, Nigeria was not doing by then. And like Mommy said during her remark, in fact, there are quite a number of things that we don't let that we can still point to today. Then I think Naira was pursuing dollar neck to neck if it wasn't higher value at the time. But maybe because we get seeing all this literal potential and opportunity that God has given unto us, and we are where we are for now. So the council came up as an Apex institution to see how we can remedy some of these gaps that have been created. Our vision is to make the world a marketplace for Nigerian non-oil export products. And the vision is to stay ahead the diversification of the Nigerian economy, expanding and increasing oil exports for sustainable and inclusive growth. Like I said, as a matter of function, our basic function is to diversify the Nigerian economy from the mono status where it used to be to a country that can source its forex from other means. So this is done by assisting in promoting and development of export-related industries. That is all other non-oil export sector that will make us to get forex inflow into this country. We see how they can be developed via government policies. We also make recommendations acceptable in the international market. Then we also assist in market entry for these products. We use various approaches to ensure that Nigerian products are able to access the international market and compete favorably with others from other countries of the world. We also use incentive as part of the strategies to induce exporters to do more, to upscale production, to upscale exports, and increase inflow of forex. Then we also try as much as possible to collate and disseminate relevant market information that will be of assistance to stakeholders. Now, when we talk about exports, what is exports? Who can assist us with that? What do we understand by exports? If I may know, is there any active exporter in this room? Is there anybody that is currently exporting? Nobody.
Baba is present. A way of marketing our products in our country to another country.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I know you are still using the knowledge of your commerce standards of those days. Thank you very much. I think the words you put forward address the whole thing. It's all about movements of products from a home country to a foreign country with the hope of getting money back. Simple, whichever way you define it. I need to go back to the question I was toying with earlier. How many of us are actually exporting? What do you export, sir? Cowman.
To which country, sir?
America.
When last did you export, sir?
2020.
What has been the challenge?
No challenge.
You choose to do a one-off export? Why?
To such a customer then is very difficult because of the nature problem we have in Nigeria, 419 and all those stuff.
We do the export through the certified agent.
Okay, you are still.
Because if I ask you one two things now that will make me agree that you actually exported, do you have an NSP?
No.
Do you have the bill of lading?
No.
Do you have an evidence that the proceeds of your shipment was actually repatriated?
No.
So you are an agent to an exporter. I know quite a number of all these Chinese, Indians, Lebanese. They are at our farm gates, buying over the produce and pushing it out. Sometimes they run what we call the sister-related companies. You have Ayobele Nigeria Limited and you have Ayobele Singapore Limited. So what I do is to ship from here to our warehouse as a redistribution center. From Singapore, I could move to India, Vietnam, and those other places. But what we just try to do is to aggregate all these things there. So what we are also trying to do for now is to, as much as possible, bring that gene. If you're familiar with international practices, it's not in all countries that foreigners are allowed to move to the farm gates to go and buy from farmers. Nobody's asking you not to export, but there are jobs that are left for the locals. So the way we are running the business in Nigeria, the time will come, if care is not taken, there will be nothing for our people to do. So I think it's appropriate that the legislation is put in place quickly so that we can take charge of that. it might not be easy for you to source international buyers directly and export to them. But of course, there should be a warehouse where somebody collects from you. And you will be able to do a very good bargain when somebody comes to your warehouse. So that is that for that. So we've told us what export is one country to an offshore country with the aim of bringing back home money. Let me also add that sometimes what we are exporting might not be in the form of tangible product only. It might not have to do with cocoa beans alone or cashew. Now let me also ask this question. If a footballer goes to Italy to play for a team, and the money for his professional service is paid back home, what do you call that?
Service. Export of service.
Thank you very much, sir. So that is what we call service export, which is also emerging for now. You have Nigerian banks all over West Africa, and they are turning money back home. You have logistic companies in Nigeria that are servicing the region and sometimes the continent. They are also turning money back home. So what they are doing is also export, but they might not be exporting tangible products. So to be an exporter, the first thing you require to do is to register with the Corporate Affairs Commission or an NGO. Because these are the only conditions that will make the next step happen. Now, when you do that, you have succeeded in legitimizing your business. So if you are dealing with the opportunity to sue anybody, and whoever wants to sue you and come in. So it is not about one person. And if you look at the three categories listed, the damages of one person does not bring an end to that business entity. The business keeps running on a going concern concept, like the accountant to say. So having done that, the next thing you move to NEPC and register as an exporter under any of these three categories. Because the truth is that there is nothing you can take outside this country on commercial export without having an exporter certificate. Even the Nigerian custom will not allow you to step out. Then, if you have done this, you should be what you want to do. It's a very big field. What do you want to export? Oh, it's cocoa. Oh, it's cashew. You should have something in mind. Somebody came to my office and said, you want to go into exports? Oh, I said, wow, beautiful. Please have your seats. Let's talk. At least I will have a KPI to show for that month. So I offered him coffee. And I asked him, what exactly do you want to export? He said, I can export anything. And I checked the list of exportable products from Nigeria. I didn't see anything there. Coming up with anything implies that you are not ready. You can't export anything. If you export anything, you might get your fingers burnt. Back. So that takes us to the next item. Having selected a particular product, you need to have full understanding of that product. If you choose to export cocoa, where can I source cocoa from? If you are planning to export cocoa and you live in Katsina, you will know you will have enough trip to make. Because each time, you have to be shuttling
between Katsina, Ondo, Osun, Cross River. It's hundreds of them. So you should know where this product can be sourced. You should have an understanding of its timing. When does the product come out? I know in cocoa there's what we call main crop and light crop.
Yes.
So what is the season for the main crop? What is the season for the light crop? What is the difference between the main? How do you store cocoa so that you don't run into problems, so that you don't have 50-70% mold? Can I just take this place as warehouse, put everything inside, lock it up, put them on, walk away? What is likely going to happen?
You have to be satisfied by it.
So you need to have full understanding of this thing. What is the price? You need to relate with different association people so that what they are buying 10 naira at the international market, you don't end up buying it 12 naira locally. How do you break even? How do you arrive at costing? You went to the farm gate to buy. You rented a warehouse. Transport. Some boys blocked the road and collected what they call tax. Whether it's official or not official, you have to settle them before you move. How do you build all these things to arrive at a competitive price at the end of the day? How do you handle issues relating to quality? Who are the regulatory agencies that are in charge of cocoa? If I must export cocoa, how do I export it? Do I put them in cartons? Do I put them in jute bag? Do I stuff my container directly? So these and many more are things you need to have a full understanding of. And that leads us to what looks like a feasibility study. That is, an investment plan that looks like a bankable plan. So that if you show anybody that this is what I intend to do, this is how much I'm trying to put into this business. For a start, this is how I intend to source. This is where I intend to sell to. This is how much I intend to sell. This is the profit margin I am targeting. So somebody can look at it and say, oh, don't worry, I can finance this for you. Because it looks bankable. Then you need to identify buyer. How do you identify buyer? Do you just go online and you see somebody who say, I want 3 containers of cocoa. Send them to Rotherham in UK, and I will pay you 3 months after. And after sending the consignments, you go back to the same website where you got the detail and you realize that it has dropped. Huh? It means you'll be visiting some of these sites. So what are the best platforms to source for buyer? Do I need to embark on a market research to a destination country to find out? When I get there, what do I need to know? What is the total tonnage that that country buys in a year? What is the legal framework for importing into that country? What is the political situation in that country? Is it a question of a place to export to today and tomorrow? The bullet is rolling everywhere. You can't even ask anybody for your money. So quite a number of things that you need to know before you jump into it. It's like measuring the depth of a pool before you wear your kits, so that you are prepared for it. Is this something you have done before, or you want to take it from? Then, having identified buyer, you need to understand how to make an offer. When you are telling somebody, I have this, I want to sell for you, what quantity do you have? Do you produce? What quantity can you supply within a period of time? And how often or regular can you supply these things? For those of us who are going to be doing produce, we need to understand that what we are selling is used to service some industries over there. And if you must go into such contractual agreements, it must be steady and ongoing, so that the factory don't start today and shut down tomorrow. Otherwise, if you agree for a monthly basis, you do the first month, second month, and 3 months after you couldn't follow. If you come the 5th month, I can tell you, you are a goner. There's no way that kind of importer will have faith in you any longer. So you should be able to give detail of the volume. Have a unit of measurements. Is it in kg you want to do it? Is it in tons? You are selling in dollar, you are selling in pounds. Again, you should be able to say if you are making an offer, what is the tenor of that offer? Especially in the situation in Nigeria today, where prices change per hour. My colleague was telling me yesterday when I was posing an issue with him that he did something that I was not comfortable with. It's landing us in trouble. He said, oh, that's sorry, you know this thing, the price used to change monthly before, but now it changes every day. So what I gave you was based on the situation then. And I couldn't go for the argument. So you need to understand the kind of trade which you are using. If you are selling, if you are making an offer to somebody, you should be able to state categorically. Are you selling FOB? Are you selling CIF? Are you selling CRF? Because if you just say 10,000 naira, $10,000 per ton, you have not talked. $10,000 per ton on FOB, that is, I am not going beyond the port in Lagos. 10,000 per ton on CRF, cost and freight. Okay, I'll put it on the ship and I will pay for the cost of delivering it to your site. So you need to be very clear, because the issue is, you will not be at the other end when the guy is reading it. And the people you are relating in most cases do not do phone calls. Phone calls don't produce evidence. They believe in documentary evidence, mails, something that can be printed. Should in case there are litigations tomorrow, things that can be tendered as exhibits in court of evidence. So if you say, I will buy, okay, I will buy 10,000, and he decides to pay you 2,000. No, but you say 10,000 that day. Where is the paper?
Where's the evidence?
Where's the evidence? So when you are making an offer and you are giving the position of what you intend to do, be very clear. No room for ambiguity. 1 naira is 1 naira. A day is a day. 2 tons is 2 tons. By road is by road. And if you say by air, you can't afford to change and say, on that day when I got to the airport, BA said it's 10,000, so I couldn't do it. So I went to the garage to send it. It's a breach. Pay your own part of the obligation by delivering the product. You can make requests for your payment. Then it is expected that when you have exported, the product, the proceed of that transaction should also come back. If you sell and you use the proceed of your sales to import a car, you have not exported. Yes, you have other assets to your proceed, but that money must not go first. it must meet your domiciliary account, and your banker notifies the Central Bank of Nigeria that we are receipts of so-so inflow for so-so transaction in favor of company XYZ. If you have completed this process, you can also move forward to apply for some portfolio of incentives from the federal government. For example, is the export promotion plan, which I think was our last discourse. Who confirms that you are actually prepared to go into export, aside the first phase that we have looked at. We said the export readiness check a set of tools used by the exporter to evaluate his or herself on the readiness for entrance into the international market. It helps in identifying your strengths, your weaknesses. It also helps you in developing an export plan. And these things are, like I said, knowledge of the targeted markets. You see, don't just sit down and say, I'm exporting to so-so place. You should have a reason why you want to take your product to a particular market. And when I say market this time, I'm talking about overseas country. Does your product have potential in that country? If you are a manufacturer of Ankara, for instance, does it make sense to say you want to send Ankara from Nigeria to Cote d'Ivoire or to Ghana? Or can a Nigerian exporter say I'm going to export fish to Banjul in Gambia? Gambia is a coastal zone. There's no kind of fish you get there you don't see. So you need to know where your strengths lies. Again, like I said, you need to understand the legal framework around that country. Can Nigeria really sit down and say they want to export their product to Saudi? Aside from Matasa, you are going to incur a lot of loss. They will not tell you not to bring it, but right at the port, they will trash it. They will not just trash it alone, you will pay for the cost of crushing it. So, you need to understand the political environment. I hope it's going to be a country, sorry sir. I hope you will be able to understand that you need to identify a country where there is relative political stability, not a war-torn country. Aside the certification requirement back home, if you are producing gari and the Nigerian policy say as producer of food, you will need to have NAFDAC. What is the certification requirement in the importing country? What does their purchasing power look like? The value of their money. The size, population of the country. The demographic. How many men? How many women? What is the size of youths? Who are those that are likely to consume these products? Can you carve a niche market for yourself in that country? What is the product? Okay, knowledge of the competitors. Who are those that are already in that market? A market where you have the Chinese and India dominating, then you should be prepared for war. Because their structure provides funds that can make them to produce bottled water for 50 naira and sell for 60 naira. At least they broke it even with that 10 naira. And they have a kind of financial structure that allows them to do mass production, which also crashes the cost of production down. If you are here with your pass my neighbor generator and you are producing 20 cartons per day, do you think you'll be able to compete with those people? No. Where you have SMEs like you struggling in the markets, what exactly do you think they are doing that makes their product acceptable in that market? What can you do as a new entrant to put you at the cutting edge to be able to get acceptance in that market? How can your product be competitive in that market? I've talked about certification required. Then, what market entry strategy do you want to adopt in getting into that market? Do you want to liaise with an off-taker over there who you just be sending your things to, who sells on your behalf, and at the end of the day, repatriates your money to you? Oh, maybe you just felt, no, I want to have a physical presence. So what I will do is to go into that place, put up a road show, announce my arrival. In fact, do some kind of giveaway for people to test. Perhaps have them at a particular platform like this and do what you call wet sample. You see some people when they are selling their product, they put umbrella somewhere and they produce it for you as you are going. Take it. You have some bars when they want to introduce new wine to those bars. They get a promotion person who comes like with a carton of that drink. And when you are seated and you are trying to make your order, they come to you and tell you, oh, so have you tasted this before? It's just our new product. It's wonderful. You will like it. Let me give you it. Just it opens and you see the cup and say, just good. Where can I get it? That's an approval for that product. The sugar content is high. I'm diabetic, so I will be able to take it. So, on that platform, you also harvest some kind of feedback. So, do you want to enter into that market through franchise, where you just have an agreement for people to use your name to operate in that country? You go around now, you see some of these fast food centers like Mr. Biggs and Co. It's not owned by, what do you call them, USA board. Some of them are operating under franchise. So, how do you want to do it? Or maybe one of the things you want to do is to participate in international trade fairs as a way of penetrating the market. Maybe you want to go for a trade mission. You want to attend a buyer-seller meeting where a platform will be created. They call it trade mission. The buyers of certain product will come there, while on the other side, the City Chamber of Commerce organize a platform for you to meet and discuss. Nobody ties one person to the other. You agree to do together because it takes two to work together. You need to understand the Incoterms, the international commercial terms. These are sets of rules that globally guides international trade. Just like I was mentioning, FOB, CIF, Kenekon. You need to acquaint yourself with those things. In those days, it used to be very long. But we have the Incoterm 2020 and Incoterm 2023, which has brought everything down to 11. I think we might see it as we move forward. So, Do you have the capacity to meet supply? I've had the opportunity of being in some international trade fair outside the country, and you have potential customers coming to meet some of our exhibitors that we took down. And I remember a case where somebody is into garments, and somebody was interested in what the person was doing. So he came for them to discuss. And in the course of their discussion, he asked him, how many machines do you have? How many tailors do you have? And I think the person mentioned a number that does not meet up to what that person was targeting. Because some of these people, they are distributor agents. What they do is to just collect from you, put in ShopRite, put in Just Right, put in all these big malls, and people go there to buy. So, are you able to meet up such? Do you have the capacity to meet up such demand? Then, like I said, understanding the legal issues both in the importing and the exporting country. The political environment is something very important too. You also need very skilled officer to manage your export desk. Like I was saying, if you have an export desk officer who don't understand all these things, it will run you into trouble. Because if you have an export officer who doesn't understand that there is a need to fumigate your products before they are put on ship, when it arrives there and they open and there are issues, there are two conditions. It's either you come and pick your thing and pay for the cost of returning back home, or they help you destroy it, you pay for the cost of crashing. Or if you are lucky, you have somebody down who can retract it and take them to a processing center where it will be cleaned and taken care of. That's if they are able to salvage up to 50% of what you actually sent. So it then means even if you don't have an officer on desk, if you are talking about a clearing and forwarding agent, it's not somebody who knows exactly what he's doing. Okay, I think I've talked much on this earlier. Some of the market entry strategies. If you want to go and do research there, you want to participate in national trade fair, social exhibition, you want to direct export, licensing, franchise, and all the rest. Okay, let me quickly talk on this last two. The export trade house. It's just leveraging on a new initiative that the NEPC came up of recent that you can, we have what looks like a warehouse and a showroom in some strategic countries abroad, where your product can be displayed for a kind of advertisement, and when you have an order, they will send to you. Then again, we are moving, fast moving. Online marketing is another thing for now. You can sit back home here and put your things online. People make order, you send to them, create a platform where you get your money. So, what are the sources of funding for exports? If you are lucky, you can start with your personal saving. That is, if you have enough, you can get out of it. Perhaps some of us who are preparing for retirement, you can also use our retirement benefits to buy into it. But when you are using your retirement benefit to buy into such venture, be very careful. Make it 50-50. I will advise. So that, if it's a business you have started earlier, before you leave office, you will have got used to it. The ups and downs in it, then you will have stabilized. But if you are going to it for the first time, be very careful. You have bank loans, you have facilities from banks like Nigerian Export Promotion Council, the Bank of Industry, the Nigerian Cultural Bank, and the rest of them. Then sometimes government support with some kind of incentives to keep you going. Unfortunately, government is broke for now.
Yes.
But I know this is the right time when this is more important. On a good day, this is the appropriate time to incentivize people to engage in different production. It might not be called export directly. For instance, if the government comes up with a policy that cocoa seedling is from IITA in Ibadan is 500 naira, and government used to give cocoa seedlings for 20 naira, and say for Osun, that is your area of strength, we are giving you 100,000 seedlings. We are also providing you with agri equipment to support this. The implication in 5 years time is that cocoa production in Osun State will be enhanced. Nobody will cook cocoa at home in the pot at home and eat. There are two ways to eat. It's either we set up cocoa processing plants in Osun to convert cocoa beans into cocoa butter, cocoa liquor, cocoa cake, or cocoa powder. So, when that is done, the cocoa liquor, the cosmetics industry, cocoa butter, they will be looking for it because it's a raw material to them. The cocoa cake and the other, those confectionaries will be looking for it. Alternatively, they can all be exported. Both the cocoa beans, the cocoa liquor, the cocoa cake, the cocoa butter, the cocoa powder, all can be exported to turn to money. So it's all about wealth and employment creation. It's an investment that does not yield immediately. It's a long-time investment. So these certifications can be categorized into two. Some are called mandatory certification, while some are not mandatory. From the name, the interpretation is very clear, simple. When you say mandatory, it means it is required. When you say not mandatory, yes, it is not required, but if you have it, it puts you above others in the industry. One of the mandatory certifications is the hazard analysis critical control points. It's meant for manufacturing industries, for manufacturing companies. In most cases, operations around these industries are highly automated. But you need to be identified at what point there could be contamination so that you don't run into trouble. You realize that there are times they will just tell you somebody consumed Indomie and this is what happened. And they have to retract a whole number of lorries covering a particular batch. Now they're able to do that because these products are batched. So if a manufacturing company does not have this in place, it's likelihood that the products will not fly in the international markets. There's what we call the phytosanitary certificates issued by the Nigerian Export Service. It's for primary produce, agricultural produce, like I said earlier. You want to export cocoa, you want to export sesame seed, you want to export raw cashew, you need to fumigate it. Otherwise, when you close it up and it has to remain on the high sea for 2-3 months, something like mucus, when you open it up, but that fumigation helps it to remain intact. So if you are thinking, I am going to start exporting agricultural produce, you must get close to the Nigerian Export Services to ask them, what do I need to do? How do I need to do it? Thank you very much, sir. Then we also have sanitary and health certificates from the NAFDAC office to have the marker from some for also manufactured products. That is for those that will be exported. But I think you have what we call some card for those that are coming into the country. Then the Federal Produce Inspection Services also issue a certificate of fumigation. The Food and Drug Administration, it's an international certification. These are US-based content. So if you are exporting food items to the US, it is compulsory that you have FDA certification. FDA. Then for those that are into livestock and animal, it's compulsory you have the certificate from the Veterinary and Pest Control Services. Then for those who are into artifacts, you need to talk to the National Museum and Monuments. Now, for the non-mandatory certifications, one of them is good agricultural practices. The good agricultural practice talks to how you operate in your farm. But the time will come, because the government has implications staying with the
cocoa, even any other.
It's like using the same truck you use in loading petrol to load kerosene. You have prepared a recipe for explosion. The cocoa is a food item. Yes, the government needs to prevent pests for pest control. But at the point of storage, it should be separated. So this is what the good agricultural practice speaks to. On the farm, what kind of residue do you use? I've had situation where people use sniper to preserve beans.
I use maize. Grains. How? And you want Nigerian products to fly? It's not going to be. See, let me tell you, most of the products that you hear that they reject from Nigeria, it's not as if these products are no good. But they are afraid of the way we do our things. See, some people root these things through Ghana, and they take them out. I had a statistics from somewhere, and I was looking at the volume of yarn exported by Ghana. I needed to go back into research and also find out what is the total annual production of Ghana as far as yarn is concerned. So where did they get it? Nigeria. But because of the way we do things, nobody is ready to take it directly from us. If we go over there, go to there, repackage and move according to their products. And when they are going, they go with certificate of origin from Ghana. Something is wrong with their system. So, same thing. Good manufacturing practice. You go to some manufacturing company, no matter who you are, you cannot enter the areas where they're producing food items. Some of us who have the privilege to enter food of it because of the nature of our job has to go through a very rigorous scrutiny. You will have to remove your shoes and wear the one they will give you. You will have to wash your hand somewhere. You will have to sanitize it. They give you a cap as if you are a senior apostle. A lab coat. And even in the course of inspecting the facility, you dare not go close to the product itself, not to talk of touching it, to avoid contamination. But if you have a situation where you just come and say, I put it down. You got it. You throw it like, I could tell you what, it's your work. Could come. Then we'll move to the next one again. Could come. Okay, there are two issues now. We're coming to dual carriage route. Now, maybe other situation we find ourselves in Nigeria. There are Muslim countries, you have to go through certain Islamic injunction. For instance, with this meat, the blood has to be fully drained out to the last. It's when you talk about halal, it's like, okay, Aram is the opposite side. But here, the halal is for the Islamic country, while the other one, the kosher, is for the Jewish nation. They also have their own things. There are animals you don't take to them. For instance, you can, no matter how you prepare pork, so another aspect we need to understand in exporting is that for you to be able to export outside this country, the federal government has appointed some few companies as pre-shipment inspection agents. The idea of doing this is to be able to certify the kind of products that we take out, to give credit to it, so that you see, all this came on. These are development that occurs as a result of our mischiefs. Somebody asks you to bring cocoa, you take 10 minutes of cocoa and 10 minutes of sand. Or somebody asks you to bring palm oil. You take 1 gallon and another half gallon of coloring.
Yes.
I want yam powder. You grind half cassava, half yam.
Mixed up.
So, this people takes care of quality, price, quantity, verification, to ensure that what you say you are exporting is what is actually contained in the container that you have stored. To be sure that you are not also underpricing or overpricing the goods. Because, let me also tell us, part of the challenges we are facing for now, those who form terrorists will also hide under it to make funds available for them. I can tell you to do send some documents for me and say you are selling this thing to me, because now if I'm buying money into the country, they want to know where it's coming from. What is it for? Oh, okay, I've sold 30 containers of cocoa to him, whereas you have not sold anything. Maybe cocoa is $10,000 per ton, and you quote your own is 50,000 naira. Is it gold that is attached to the cocoa? Did you quote it with gold?
It would be more than international agreement price.
Then sometimes people run trip this. So the pre-shipment agents are three: Anglia, Gojopa, and Nairobi. Each operates in different locations of the country. For Southwest is Nairobi Technology, and the headquarters is there in Lagos. However, there are cases where an importer can insist that in addition to these three inspection agents, he wants a private inspector to carry out. So, at that point, you find companies like SDS, Cotegna, what is called as Veritas Bureau or so. So those people are independent inspectors, but because the buyer over there have confidence in their judgments, if they say it is like this, it is like that, because they know they wouldn't compromise. But maybe perhaps they are still afraid that these ones are engaged by the federal government of the exporting country. So perhaps people might go around there. So again, we have food integrated services and ACE Global Depository, who also monitor the activities of these agents to ensure they are operating based on the code of ethics. Yeah. Okay, I talked about Incoterms earlier, and I said they are set of T. And I think it's still operational up to now. There are 11, you have the X-Works that, okay, X-Works, free carrier, free alongside ship, free on board, cost and freight, cost insurance and freight, carriage paid to, carriage insurance, delivered place and all this. Let's move. This is just a summary of it. Now for X-Works, it says when the seller places the good at the disposal of the buyer at the seller's premises or another named place, his job is completed. Maybe you say your agent will come to my warehouse to pick it. It is my responsibility to load it into the truck for the agent. Once the agent moves, even in front of my warehouse at the junction, if anything happens to it, you have taken your delivery. Then, the free carrier, the seller delivers the goods to the carrier or another person nominated by the buyer at the seller's premises or another place. This time, the parties are well advised to specify and explicitly as possible the point within which the name delivered. So we are given a particular location where to put it. Sometimes it could be at the port. You will deliver it to an agent. It is not your responsibility to load on ship. As much as possible, please ensure you write your email on the registration something. We'll try and share this very one on the platform. We have an existing platform already. What we'll just try to do is to update it with those who have not been attending our program. Then, for this very Incoterm, we'll upload it there so that they can serve as guide to all of us when we are taking a trade alongside FOB. I'm talking about it since that all you need to do is to get it on the ship and collect the bill of lading sent to the buyer. When these things were done was the days when we need to have food security. Of course, we have the challenge for now, and we are trying to manage it. But as I talked to you, maize is not completely under prohibition. So that's just it. Yes. Okay, for export destination, we have Europe, US, Asia, Africa, and the Middle East. And in front of each of those regions, you can see the products that thrive in each side. For Europe, you have generally commodities like agriculture, processed food, vegetables, and all of them. Then US, Indian people are not. But like I told you, in Africa, you will see that most of what you find here are manufactured products because our products are acceptable here. Yes. Okay, these are recent initiatives by the Nigerian Export Promotion Council to enhance market access for made in Nigerian products. I'm sure before this time around, we are already used to all this international trade here, market research, trade mission, buyer sellers here. Satisfy and seal and will be scheduled right on the port. So that as we leave the domestic warehouse, we are heading straight to the terminal. Nobody needs to rule or something like that. Then we have another one, which is the export warehouse. In recognition of the fact that SMEs don't have the financial module to service the entire logistic process required in accessing the international market. For instance, an SME that is operating with 3-5 million, how do you tell him or her to go to market research to Kenya? He pays 1.5 million to approve for ticket, pays 500,000 for hotel and other associated costs. So what we do is that we have created the platform that comes called a showroom and a warehouse, where your products can be collected and displayed, and it will serve as kind of advertisement area, located area. When people need it, you can get order. Your details are available there. The only thing is that crash something that is not really significant. Okay, so aside NEPC, there are various agencies that have stake in export business. That is, if you must go into export business, there are quite a number of organizations that you might need to engage with depending on what you want or what you need at a particular point in time. This list does not cover all, but we just try to identify those that are key, like the corporate affairs. I told you earlier that for you to register your business and able to register with NEPC, you need to register it. Sponsor service. Without them, you cannot take anything out. That's a no. Standard organization will need to certify the product, just like NAFDAC will do. Nigerian Export Services will have to do it, certificate, then you need to know what the bank will do for you. The bank will help you bring back your money, give you advisory and services. The FDIS also will help you. If you want to operate in a free trade zone, then you need to come to NEPC. The free trade zone is strictly for production of export products. Yes, they are in Nigeria, but anything you do around there goes out. The good thing is that if you operate for that area, certificate of origin for now products going to you. And the Ministry of Mines and State Development will have to certify you to be able to possess any solid mineral or to be able to mine. You need a mining license for them. And if you are a merchant, for you to get what they call from K or so, to be able to trade it, you need to talk to them. In conclusion, the role of export business in the stimulation of a nation's economy cannot be overemphasized. When some of its benefits, which include but not limited to forex inflows, job and wealth creation, economies of scale, among others. A nation's economy can only bloom when it is productive, just like export can only thrive when a nation is productive. It is therefore imperative for Nigeria to enhance production and explore the full potential in the non-oil export sector. I want to thank you very much for not finding the presentation very boring, even though it took a little bit long. And I know you will have taken some lessons from it. Thank you so much for listening. I appreciate it. Questions?
Wọ́n bá tẹ̀sí wọ́n ṣe dáadáa tí wọ́n yá kó bá ilé ìdárayá láti ẹ̀ka àbọ̀ ẹ̀ka àdúgbò. Trying to render a regulatory framework for successful export. The role of export procedure, it will be very difficult for you to get incentives because at some time the government is to give incentives to exporters. But if you are not into processing the procedure and documentation, it will be very difficult for you to government to even locate your name that this is an exporter we should be working with or have or something. So these are the uses or the importance of export documentation procedures. It plays a crucial role in facilitating trade transactions, ensure compliance with regulations, mitigating risk. If you are into procedure and documentation, it reduces the risk involved in export. So if we go into the procedure and documentation, it reduces the risk that we are in the process of exporting. Fostering trust between exporters and importers. The next slide. The role and importance of export procedure and documentation. These are the roles and importance. I've earlier said that one before. Ensures that all legal and regulatory requirements of both exporting and importing countries are met. Suppose you are exporting to Senegal now. Let's say Mr. Wahab is exporting to Senegal, and he has filled all the documents required, which is the NSP form, the other document. It makes this legal. They cannot just go with his or her money because he has met all his requirements over there. Maybe the prohibited list, he didn't go export the one that they listed over the prohibited list. He has met the custom over there, has met all their requirements. So it makes it easier for him to repatriate. Are you with me, sir? Yes. It makes it easier for him. Proper export documentation is essential for custom authorities. I know the custom personnel are here too. They will have to tell more about what are required for custom authorities. Number 3, export documentation serves as a trail of evidence and proof of transaction terms. When you have filled the form, the procedure and document, suppose I have the copy, I will have been shown off the NSP form and other form. It serves as a proof that you have engaged in export business. This one we are doing as it's not for my exporting. Until you fill the form required, the processes and the procedure that make this formal. And you get what I'm saying? And you are required, that's what you are registered with NEPC. You are required to fill the form. Because it didn't make the CBN to make evaluation, to make the number, to know the number of exporting goods. Maybe cashew has been exported, the volume of cashew has been exported is so. The value of cocoa is so. The value of solid mineral is this. So make it easier. The next slide. Export documentation may include certificate of quality and compliance, indicating that the exported goods meet the required standards and regulations of importing country. I've said something about that. Accurate export documentation allows for seamless continuation of logistics and transportation services. Even apart from your own end too, it makes it easier for the transportation company to assess, to know, this is the proof that this person has exported so. So there's no way the goods can get lost or something like that. It makes it easier for them to chase it or do any needful. So number 3. Export documentation is the primary source of data for compiling trade statistics. Yes. And the last one, properly drafted export documentation such as contract, use of dispute, and costly legal practice. So these are export procedure. We have market research analysis. We have identify export opportunities, evaluating export readiness. I thought my boss have spoke on this before. Securing international payment methods, obtaining necessary licenses and permits, which include the NEPC and other certificates. Determining the Incoterms. The Incoterm means, the meaning of Incoterm is international commercial terms. These are the globally recognized terms of agreement, like FOB, free on board. I don't need to transfer it into your doorstep. Just the port, I will not be broken by the port. Now you know how you come carrier. In Tibia, we have to show in the port in the Guinea. You have to run the product to the shipping line. But if you are into property and cost insurance and price, you have to take possession of the goods. You have to monitor the goods. Get to the buyer. Are you getting what I'm saying? You are taking, no, what will be different, because you are taking charge, you are taking the risk that during the course of transporting the goods on the sea, take the liability. Thank you very much. Next one. Registration as an exporter within the Nigerian Export Promotion Council. I believe some of us, or a large number of us, will know how to register for NEPC. it has been made easier now. You can just do the registration in the comfort of your house. But if you are not too much computer usage like that, you can come to our office at Abiri so that we can help you. In fact, it has been made simpler. You can just open your laptop with the internet and fill the form. So this is the website. This is the website www.nepc.gov.ng. Get started e-registration. You see a column there that says new registration. There's a column beside for new registration. There's a column for renewal. If your license has expired, there's a column for renewal too. The next slide. These are certificates of incorporation issued by, these are the documents needed for registration. I know Mr. Balogun will even know this very well. These are the documents we need. Number one, certificate of incorporation issued by the CAC, Corporate Affairs Commission in Ogoluwa here. Number two, memorandum of articles of the association. Number three, status report, that is the particulars of the directors. So the particular is very necessary that you have to put the particulars of the directors. If you like, you can put your child, you like put your wife, like put your concubine, you can put anyone you like. And this last one, they just put this one, so you have to be very careful with this one. All resolution is a very critical issue. Gone are the days they require the document, but now they have included this one now. You have to use the letter, any paper of your company to write a letter expressing interest to export. It's a very simple letter. If you don't know how to write, you can see me at the end of the report. I will show you specimen or show you the man behind you like this. We should show you the specimen of how to write a letter. You have to include the letter indicating interest that I want to register and your letter headed on top. And one more thing, note, you have to put C. You know C? Yes. C like mechanic C like this. You don't put it, they will not give you the certificate. So it's very compulsory for you to put C. So the next one. For documents for cooperative societies is almost similar, but there's a little different because I know there are some people here that are into someone by the State Ministry of Commerce. I think that one they collected by maybe 18,000 or so. That was the former price before. I don't know that. They collected it. You can just go to the Ministry of Commerce. The PS just left now. The number two one is bylaw. There is no cooperative society who will not have bylaw. You collect small parcel like this. Don't go to this one. There's a bylaw that's guiding the society to collect it and bring it. You cannot feel it, you can even put it to our office for them to feel it. And the last one is for, I've done explain this now, for you have to write a picture with your letter headed. This is the last one, document for government and non-governmental NGOs. These are the things we need. These are almost the same thing like the one I've mentioned before. Export contract document between buyer and seller. Once a buyer is identified, the exporter should send an offer. The meaning of export contract is an offer, like a proposal. Mr. Balogun, I want you to buy this thing. I have 15 tons of yam in my custody. I want you have not paid me. It's just an offer. It's a proposal. That's what we call contract. Export contract. So it's just like an offer, like a proposal. I'm proposing to you. If you like, you can turn down. If you like, you can accept. So that's terms of payment. These are the terms of payment. These are terms of delivery. It will take to deliver. Under the export contracts, we need to fill all these forms. Time it will take to deliver. Maybe it is 2 weeks it will take to deliver. If the port you are using, maybe it is Connect port or Apapa port or any other port. Names and addresses of the referee, NEPC, banker, chamber of commerce. You have to fill this one too. Note: in making offer, exporters have to advise themselves with importance. 2020 edition, as issued by International Chamber of Commerce, e.g., FOP, CIF, and C&FR, etc. These are the importance we mentioned earlier during the course of our last presentation. So, exporters are required to fill NSP form. The meaning of NEPC form is Nigeria Export Proceed Form. So you don't need to go to commercial bank again. It has been made simpler. You can just go to the CBN website www.tracesystem.gov.ng to download the form. Don't like this. You should go to commercial bank to get the form. This form is designed by the CBN to ensure the gratification of proceeds and funds. So the next one. Some of the relevant documents include, I've mentioned this one before, even my boss have mentioned, phytosanitary certificate for agricultural commodities. Number 2 is health certificate for processed and semi-processed food. This health certificate for people in agriculture. These are the ones for people in processed foods like gari, plantain chips. You have to go to NAFDAC. I know you have a lot of questions on NAFDAC today. They are personnel there. So you have them a lot of questions concerning that one because you don't know why people. Sorry for the interruption. International veterinary certificate for animals and animal products. These are the certificates you get if you want to export animals and animal products. This is fumigation certificate for agricultural commodities. This is another certificate from Federal Produce Inspection Service. It's a department from Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. We know NEPC is under Federal Ministry of Industry, Trade and Investment. So it's a sister organization we talk. Next slide. This is a commercial document. These three are commercial documents. The pro-forma invoice, the commercial invoice, and the packing list. These are the three commercial invoices that are required for export. So when it comes to financial document now, let's see the financial document. So these are the financial documents issued by CBN. You see the role of CBN in this column. The CBN, via the trade auditory system, we issue down this trade system.gov.ng for financial document. The relevance is that it captures the value of the export transaction for economic community development. We want to capture the value and the quantity of exports. Document is goods movement document. Certificate of origin. This certificate of origin is used by National Association of Chamber of Commerce, Industry, Mines, and Agriculture. The relevance is that it shows and indicates the origin of your product. There are some products that will be imported from Ghana or Nigeria. You want to export from Nigeria again. So this NASIMA will serve as the organization that will certify that this product has been derived, gotten from, it has a Nigerian origin. So that's the goal of NASIMA. And their office is at Lagos. Their licensing office is in Abuja. So you have to get a document from them. Next. Pre-inspection agents. We have 3 pre-inspection agents in Nigeria. We have Halatria International Services Limited, which cover the North Central and Northwest. The North Central are the people in Edo, Kwara, Kogi, Plateau, and other. This is the pre-inspection agent that will cover them. The second one is Dogoba Nigeria Limited, which cover the northeast and the southeast, the Abia, Imo, and others. The one that concerns us is Nairobi. This is the one you will contact. You want to export from this part of the country, which is the south and the southwest. Nairobi Technologies Limited. Monitoring and evaluation agents. We have S Global Depository Limited, which covers the south. We divide this one to 2. The south and the north. Foods Integrated Services Limited, it covers the north. So these are the 2 MRE agents.
commend the lecture of the resource persons who have addressed us. The lecture are plausible, but something baffled me a lot. Despite the, or let me say, with all the enumerated conditionalities, mandatory and non-mandatory certificates, pre-shipment, inspection, and all was not. Why is it possible for people to export certain products to a country, but at the receiving a country, items different to what has been exported from the other country are found in the what do they call it, a canter or this container? But that the product differs from the items exported from that country at the receiving end. But different items will be found in the container. Why is it possible with all these documentations,
what Nigerian Export Promotion Council is doing about gate farming? Gate farming. All those foreigners that goes to the farm and corner farm gate, because that's a challenge we are having when we are making a cow export. The Chinese India, they go to Apache pay the bushers. We that's why in the country go there, we don't have problems. Chinese has paid for. Our group wrote a letter to Export Promotion Council. No way. And another one is sourcing for customer versus. It's one of the difficult problems that we are facing and pricing. Those are the three questions. Thank you.
Very well. When I was doing my lectures, I will start from the last to the first. I thought about what government is doing about curbing the activities of foreigners at our farm gates. It's not as if government is insensitive to it. I did mention that in Western countries, or not just Western countries, even organized countries, permit me to use that word, there are jobs that are reserved for locals. It's only on the Nigeria street you will find a Chinese selling bread. It's only on Nigeria street you will find an Indian inside the Balakani selling sin. You see, there are jobs that are meant for locals, but perhaps maybe because of failure on the part of government on both sides, and because of the greed of our own people, we must talk to ourselves. We have allowed these foreigners access to our farm gates. I was privileged to be in a gathering where we were discussing trade facilitation. And one of the issues that was brought to fore there was how to curb the activities of foreigners at our farm gates. Foreigners are meant to obtain from licensed buyers who has warehouses, licensed warehouses. So that is the direction we are going back towards. On the issue of pricing, for us at the Nigerian Export Promotion Council, we have the monthly commodity price that we use in guiding exporters and would-be exporters in price negotiation. I think what we also do henceforth is that on monthly basis, we will also deploy these on our platform. John, please take notes. the monthly commodity price must be sent to the general platform on monthly basis, at least first week of the next month. So we are not completely in control of price. You have the right to negotiate your price. Sometimes you might be lucky you hit premium price, but the price we give is to serve as baseline so that you don't shoot yourself at the foot. What other question? What we do is, at our own level, we create a platform, we create platforms, not just a platform, where buyer and sellers can meet. For instance, that is why we facilitate the participation of SMEs in international trade fair. Sometimes we obtain their participation 100%, but due to paucity of funds, sometimes we take 50%. We organize trade missions where we take some of our producers there to other countries to meet with potential buyers so that they will be able to negotiate. However, on your own, you could subscribe to some site. I told you that you could get buyers online. But if you go to free sites, you'll be taking big risk. There are sites where you subscribe. Some of them are as much as $3,000 per annum subscription. But you can be sure whatever you get there is banker. Some of them are as low as $500. Then you can also reach out to some of the country embassies in Nigeria to say you are a supplier of all these things. The economic officer can share some of the information with you. Again, there are platforms where you need to visit often. Like the NEPC website will keep giving you information on some of these things, but unfortunately, we don't avail ourselves. NEPC will not do. NEPC will not call company A and company B and say sell to this. We are off that table. What we will do is to create a platform where you can make Thank you very much. Just wanted to be sure. We are yet to fully equip our exit point with computerized scanners who can just tell you everything that is covering under this thing. Who will show it here. See, I had a discussion with somebody who said he knew that in Canada, I think Maggi no is not accepted, and some other things like this chicken noodles and the rest of them. But because he has market for it, because of the population of Nigerians in the diaspora there, who are salivating for those kind of tastes they have back home. Those people have a reason for saying they will not allow such a thing to enter into the economy. It's like US, when they say you don't allow anything chicken in. So what he did was that he picked those things and put them at inner. Then the ones he feel they will not query, the plantain flour and the other one, he loaded them in front. And maybe your custom point, the exit point you use, they open it, check it, and felt after getting to almost all of it, seeing the same thing, that's what is inside. And to him, he was smart. Because the terminal, the point where he passed through, did not have scanner. He escaped it. But when he got to the other side, the people did not open the container. The container will pass through their scanner. And they said, no, this is set aside. And that was where the problem started. So, it's a question of abiding by rules.
Like when I was talking about my paper, I said you need to know about the legal framework operational in the reporting country. So if you know it, you snub it, you try to take shortcuts, then you have to pay the price, you have to dance to the rhythm of the music. Sometimes they are just unnecessarily smart. Custom will not see that kind of thing in Nigeria and allow it go. But when you have a different thing in container and you declare another thing on paper and they say they have done their best. Because if the government has provided scanner, fine, it will have shown me they will have detected it. I won't talk much about that. When it comes on board, he will talk more.
So thank you very much. I think at this point, we'll return the mic to the representative of NAFDAC and allow him to take the floor.
The summary of the exports regulatory products that are allowed. We have food products, which are categorized into two: processed and semi-processed foods. We shall be analyzing those in the later slides. We have pharmaceutical products, which are allowed for export. Those are drugs and pharmaceutical materials. It could be medical devices and all. We have cosmetics, household items and products. We have medical devices, chemicals and agrochemicals. What are processed and semi-processed foods? Processed foods. This applies to any food that has been altered from its natural state in some way, either for safety reasons or convenience. Most of these products are registered by the agency. Examples are registered drinks, could be alcoholic or non-alcoholic drinks, canned milk, and all registered food items. Semi-processed foods are food products that are intermediate food products or semi-finished products, not destined for the end consumers, but requires further incorporation, that's further processing, into finished products. Examples are sesame seeds, shea butter, ginger, unregistered yam or cassava flour, egusi or melon seeds, whether grounded or not grounded, unregistered crayfish, unregistered vegetables or groundnut oil, etc. What are processes for export certification? My slides are so short, so as to just be brief. We have details of all that I'm going to speak about in summary form on our platform. I'll be giving you the website address at the end of this brief. Our regulatory processes for export certification of products are: 1. Documentation. Inspection of products for export at relevant ports and land borders. Laboratory evaluation is carried out when necessary. Certification / issuance of certificates. At this point, please can we go back? At this point, I want to clarify something very important. I want us to understand the fact that no regulated product that is not registered with NAFDAC can be exported. If you have interest in exporting any regulated products, I've mentioned what regulated products are in the earlier slides. Those are food products, pharmaceutical products, medical devices, and co. These products must be registered locally, probably sold locally before you can seek for export of such products. And procedures for registration of these regulated products are majorly in 3 phases. The first phase of registration with NAFDAC is what we call documentation of whatever you want to register. When you want to raise documents, we don't deal with individual persons. Rather, we deal with corporate entities, just like many other government agencies. You need to have a registered corporate name with Corporate Affairs Commission. That is the only way we can allow you to register any product you want to register. There are a host of other lists of documents which you will need to raise when you want to register a particular product. This list of products are in different categories depending on the nature of or the type of product you want to register. Like I said earlier, I'll be giving you the website address of NAFDAC. It's a public thing. You can go into the website address and see details of your own kind of product.
So that is the first stage when you want to register a product. The second stage is combined into two. That is inspection of facility and laboratory analysis. When we go out, we inspect wherever you want to use for production of a regulated product. If at the end of such inspection, the inspection is pronounced satisfactory, we sample the product to our lab. When we sample the product to our lab, we carry out a series of laboratory analysis on such product. If that product is satisfactory in the lab, then you can now move to the final stage, which is the issuance of NAFDAC registration number. So having gone through these three stages, that will now qualify you to be able to put on an application for export of your regulated product, depending on the category, like I said initially. Next slide, please. So, documentation processes for exportation is almost similar to registration process, but the difference there is that your facility or where that product was manufactured may not be inspected for the second time. It is only the warehouse, which we call warehouse inspection, where you have this finished product stored. That is where you will now inspect. So, documentation, an essential element of export control and inspection system. It is a requirement that exporters inform NAFDAC in writing, stating their intention to export prescribed goods. Prescribed goods in this sense refers to regulated products. The application will be routed to the Director General of NAFDAC through the Director Ports Inspection Directorate of NAFDAC. Having written such application, you may not need to visit any state office. You can just go online. Like so many other government agencies, NAFDAC has gone online. At the convenience of your room, you can make up this application. If you need to make payments, you make payments from the convenience of your room, and then when we get your applications online, we begin the processes and then give you a reply through our accounts platform. NAPAMS is NAFDAC Automated Product Administration and Management System. It's also a website where we interface with our clients or intending clients, where we speak on how to assist ourselves to get things the way it's supposed to go. This is the next page. This is just a summary of procedures you will see online when you want to register a product for export. When you Google on the federal government trade zone, that is trade.gov.ng, through NAFDAC page, you'll be able to get all whatever you want to get done. It's very explanatory, self-explanatory to the end point where you now get the certificate for exportation. The next slide, please. The next slide. This is also part of what you'll be seeing online. So the documentation continues. It is important for applicants to include the following information in their application letter. 1. The name and address of the exporter. I would like to state here that the name of the exporter in some cases may not be the name of the manufacturer of that product. Yes, it's allowed. If you have an agreement with a manufacturer and you want to export his or her product, all you need to do is to have a written agreement, probably from a law firm or within yourself. But we would like to see that agreement that yes, the actual manufacturer of that product is actually consenting to the fact that you want to export his or her registered product. So the consignee's name, that is the name of the product in details. Excuse me. Products intended for export, that is the quantity of whatever you want to export must be stated on your letter of application. The net weight of the product, the batch number. What we refer to as a batch number is the production of each of these regulated products in different times. For example, whatever you produce today will have a different batch number from whatever you are going to produce tomorrow. So the quantity of whatever you are going to export must be stated on your letter of application. Likewise, the batches, different batches that you intend to take out of the country must be stated. Then the production and manufacturing dates, the best before and expiry date, depending on the nature of the product, like I said initially. There are some of our products that carries the best before date. Some of them carries expiry date. These are also a way of now that knowing what kind of products you have registered, and it gives us a kind of link to be able to know if a product is really genuine with us or it's fake. Next slide, please. In addition, the applicant shall submit a product registration license issued by NAFDAC. Like I said initially, that you can't be allowed to export whatever products have not been registered locally. While registration has been completed locally, you will be issued what we call a certificate of registration. That is the certificate that will carry your NAFDAC registration number. So such certificate will be submitted during processes for export. Factory current good manufacturing practice. You see, during registration, some companies may not have the intention of exporting their products. But as time goes on, they may have someone that will approach them for export, or they themselves think, okay, we want to export this product. Such facility that has been registered initially will still need to be visited for good manufacturing practice to ensure that whatever you want to push out of the country is still intact the way it was registered initially. Export promotion form for commercial exports. You see, the quantity of regulated products that people export depends on whatever they think they can do with. Sometimes it may be commercial quantity, sometimes it will be for personal use. So if it's for commercial quantity, you have to give us what we call the National Export Promotion Form, which you have gone through. Be sure that you have actually seen them in giving you the go ahead to export such products. Then we have what we call the product certificates of analysis. Like I said, products are manufactured in different batches. Whatever number of batch that you're going to export, you need to state that on your letterhead paper, like I said. And laboratory analysis has to be carried out on each of these batches. It is not the formal way we do things, where you just carry a particular batch to the lab. After analyzing that batch, you now manufacture other batches and mix everything up to export. Nowadays, you have to analyze each and every batch of products that you have to or you intend to export. That's what we call phytosanitary certificate. This is for semi-processed food products alone. Yes, we have a tax clearance of the company that will be issued by FIRS. We want to be sure that whoever wants to export any of these regulated products, he or she is a taxpayer. You don't just take things out of the country without recourse to government taxes. The registration certificate with Nigerian Export Promotion Council, like they have said earlier, pro forma invoice, you also check that. Packing list, letter of no objection, that is for third-party exporters. Like I explained initially, that sometimes it may not be the manufacturer of a particular product that want to export such product. The person that is not the manufacturer that is exporting is who we call the third-party exporter. Next slide. Inspection. After the document review is satisfactory, the applicant shall be requested to liaise with Food Safety and Applied Nutrition Directorate, that is for food products, for the inspection of the warehouse to ascertain the GHG, that is good hygienic practice, from processed and semi-processed food commodities. However, finished registered products whose good manufacturing practice has expired will require inspection of the facilities for current good manufacturing practice by the relevant inspecting directorate. What we mean by that is, good manufacturing practice of a particular facility where regulated products is going to be manufactured for export has to be okay at every point in time. There's a certificate we issue when we go out for inspections like that. We call it good manufacturing practice certificate. If such certificate has expired, such manufacturer will need to come along to another office or request for another application online so that we inspect such facility again. Inspection of these facilities are in different categories depending on the nature of the products. For food products, we usually inspect once every 2 years. That is for good manufacturing practice. But for medical devices and pharmaceutical products, it's once every 5 years. Next slide, please. Laboratory analysis. Upon satisfactory inspection of the warehouse business, this is done by ensuring that regulated packaged and prepackaged products for export are safe, of good quality, and meet specified international standards. It is worthy to note that all exported products that went through the export certificate process have not been rejected. Thank you for listening.
And regulation for quality products made locally and internationally. Our aim and objectives are preparation of standards relating to products, measurement, materials and process, among others, and their promotion at the national, regional and international level. Number 2, certification of industrial products. 3, assistance in the production of quality goods. And number 4 is the improvement of measurement, accuracy and circulation of information relating to standard organization of Nigeria. There is a body called MANCAP. Body is the meaning of MANCAP is mandatory conformity assessment program. It is a mandatory product. It is mandatory product program. In certification scheme put in place by SUN to ensure that all locally manufactured products in the country conform to the relevant Nigerian industrial standard before such products are being put in sale in the market and exported. And there is a body called SUNCAP. SUNCAP was made in 2005 by the federal government of Nigeria to see that all products that are coming into the country meet up with the standard organization of Nigeria requirements. This body was put in place by the federal government. If products are made outside the country, before such products will be brought into the country, some would have certified such products and make sure that it meets the requirements of SOA. And when the product comes into the country, such products will be picked by SUN and it will be taken to the lab for test. If such product meets the requirement of standardization of Nigeria, the product will be put in market for sale and the certificate will be issued. But if the product not meets the requirement of SUN, such products will not be allowed for sale in the country. And before we could export goods too, such products will have been certified and meet up with requirements. And what I mean by certification, before products are being certified, there are some steps to take before the certified product. Number 1, if you have a company, before you start anything, you come to SUN to make inquiry. After making the inquiry, we give you standards. We have standards for all products. So when we give you the standard, you go and study it and make sure that this is what we want. Like this is how we want the product to be. It has to meet up with the requirement. Because people buying goods, they have to get quality for their money. So you go with the product, with the standard. After going with it, study, after studying, make the goods. Then after making it, we will come for inspection. At least before we issue certificates, we have to visit such company 3 times in a year before we could issue certificate. So we go there for inspection.
you see the product you made, we pick samples and we test. After testing, you will see that it's meet up the requirement. Good, you cannot put it for sale. But if it does not meet the requirement, then it's not put for sale. We'll make correction until such good meets the requirement. Ẹ̀yin bàbá mi àti màmá mi, son àti láyọ̀ lágara, nǹkan káwà fún mi pé ká make sure pé ẹ fẹ́ ra nǹkan báyìí bóyá ẹ fẹ́ ra speaker. Ẹ bá ra speaker tí ò bá ṣiṣẹ́. Ṣé àwọn pé mọ ẹni tó ṣe bí tẹ̀sí rà tẹ́ bá débẹ̀ ọmọ náà kọ́ làwọn ṣe. Wọ́n á ní bọ́ọ̀dì tó wà lókè òkun. Pé lójú wọ́n tó ṣe product yẹn jáde, àtọ́báṣe jáde kan wọ́n máa wò pé ṣé kíní yìí dà. Bí àwọn ẹ̀rọ ìbánisọ̀rọ̀ wa báyìí tí wọ́n bá mú tí tẹ bá rà ìmí lè paná, tó bá tẹ̀ ti paná kò ní wúlò. Oríṣiríṣi náà máa ń gbé wá sọ́dọ̀ wa, àwọn míì máa ń kó iyebíye ra nǹkan ṣùgbọ́n tó bá ti ra nǹkan yẹn wọn ní rí lò. Torí pé àwọn tó ṣe bóyá wọ́n gbọ́ nìyẹn kò ní ṣe ni wọ́n ṣe dáadáa. Ṣùgbọ́n tí pẹ̀lú ẹ̀sán ta tó bá ṣe pé torí àwọn èèyàn míì máa ń rí wa pé àti wá ti pọ̀ jù kí nìkan torí tí yín náà la ṣe ṣe gbogbo wàhálà yìí. Kẹ́ ẹ̀ lè rí fálù fún owó tẹ ẹ náà.
Hello, come.
Sorry, if you have anyone that wants
My name is Deputy Controller S.S. African, representing the Nigerian Export Command under the Controller Dr. Osun Command. First and foremost, I was happy to say something about the role of customs concerning trade transportation. But before then, I would like to know students because that's also not about what I was asked to come out. What are the four main functions of Nigerian Customs Service? One, collection of revenue from import through export and account for the same revenue collected. That's the first function. Two, anti-smuggling activities. There's no country in the world that they are not smuggling. You cannot eradicate smuggling from the country. You can only suppress it because of our porous border. We have more than 1,000 some are not up. So there's no way you can cover those border. So as such, you can only try our best to suppress them. You cannot eradicate them and smoke. Good luck. Thirdly, trade facilitation. Trade facilitation, that is not the concept of the customs. Because governments are like to remove people to make process. So to do the necessary thing within 14 hours in your garden will be moving, except you have to find money. And fourth, security focus. Also engage in the security matters in the country, both locally and nationally. It's go around something in my the one that you don't want we are also here to make peace between the world communities. What is on export? Export, the definition of export is movement of goods from one country to another through custom approved goods. If you want to export your products, you cannot just take it to anywhere as you like. You have to follow their like seaport, that's Finland, Apapa, Port Harcourt, port. Then airport. We have the international airport at Lagos, we have the Naviga. Those are the two, those are the places you can make your export. Then there are two other corridors. Presently, most of our borders are closed. Like for yours, all our borders in our yours are closed. Seven border is closed. Only if you go to Osogbo for such an exercise. That is the beginning of export. Then what is the facilitation? During facilitation, part of this education, standardization, and harmonization of procedure and associated information flows required to move goods from man and from seller to buyer and to make a payment. So it has been decided by the federal government that before you can import your export your product, you start standardization. Just like what the NAFTA said, you have to make a quality. Then all those things have been harmonized. You cannot just do anything you like. So as such, you have to make all these steps before you can do that. Then, trade facilitation. The trade facilitation function of the Nigerian Export Service. It is the function in the implementation of bilateral and multilateral agreements entered into by the government, collection of levies and taxes, and collaborative functions. Government agencies such as CBN, Nigerian Police Force, NDA, SON, NAFTA, FIRS, EPC. These are the agencies that are concerned about the trade facilitation so that there will be no any delay in any form once you make up the regulation. Now, put under prohibition list, there are some goods that cannot be exported, and they are listed for. One is maize. Maize is one of the products that cannot be exported out of the country. Apart from the present situation in the country now, there's hunger in the country. So, for availability of food items, the government says do not import maize. Even maybe that's extended to some food items now, because you have been given mandate that no matter the condition, we should not allow any food item to move out of the country. But if we go to our they only mention maize. Only maize of food items. Then scrap metal. That's another item we cannot export. Scrap metal. All this difficult tasks or this cannot because they want those to be used locally by local manufacturers. Then unprocessed rubber, latex, and dogs. So those are the factories that are producing like plastic and rubber to make it available to them. That's why government said cannot allow them to be exported. Then timber, whether off or process. They do the same thing because of this carpenter and furnitures. Except otherwise. But presently, cannot export them. The activities, all this, the handwork we made, these are all father something. Cannot export them. F, wild animals and their products, such as crocodile, elephant, donkeys, lizard, etc. It's against Nigeria law to export
Goods that are allowed to be exported include crude oil, refined oil, and natural gas, etc. B, that you can export as well, dry cargo. Cocoa is seasoned seeds, NMF, Nigeria coffees, and processed leathers. Those are the items that export other products. Then if you want to export, you cannot just take it to the seaport without ordering custom something. You have to produce some document. The document required for export, one is NPD Form C-2010. That's C for stand for custom control. That is C stand for control. Custom control. You must get that paper. In that paper is where you are going to describe the type of items or goods you want to export it. So then on that attached document that is necessary are Nigerian Export Promotion Council certificates, NEPC. Then Nigerian Export Proceed Form, NSP. CRR, that main report of inspection. Specific certificate from the agencies such as SOM and NAFDA. If you want to import export your goods out of the country, you need to get some document from SOM and NAFDA. Because if it is not a quality no, NAFDA means some will not allow you to do that. And that NAFDA is not a constitution or whatever. So if that paper are not do not acquire those papers, also will not allow you to carry those things out. Then shipping document. Day-letting is for the ship, while airway is for the flight, while waiting is for the road themselves, not to pass to the other. Those are the papers. Those are the documents that are required for your export. Then the role of customs in export procedures through trade classification is a very wide subject. It's something that I just summarize, but full details. If you want to have done one, this is one of this is the role of customs in trade classification. But I see it's too voluminous. I just make the first one, I just download this, then created something. I'll hand it over to the coordinator. Anybody goes, or you can go with it by yourself. Okay. But just go to some, where you go to, say the role of Nigerian Customs Service. For my summary, role of Nigerian Customs in export procedures to trade classification. One is documenting tech. Before you can do anything, when you come to customs, submit your document. That form C-2010. We have to submit it. Under attached document, so we have to check and cross-check that what is described on that form is what is in your container or package. Unfortunately, most of our scanners are not working. We are doing all this in order to prevent the definite image of the country. Because if you just allow you to carry anything you like, you may say you are going with something, you go with another one. We say what is the consistent, just like what the coordinator said. What is allowed to be exported in the middle? Another thing will be there. So by the time you now you exported those things from Nigeria to another country, when you get to that place and they discover that that's the image of the country. So that's why we have to check what is described on that document and compare with what is in the container or the package or your package. Secondly, 100% installation. Because of the lack of the manufacturing of our scanners that are no more for export. So we do a 100% installation. And you that you do that 100% installation, you test. And when you are writing your report, put your service number, the most important, you cannot run. Two persons cannot have service number, one service number. So if you do examination and you see one thing, you now say another thing. If those items are caught over there, you will come and explain. So whoever do that, then 48 hours there. If you met all the conditions for exportation, nobody there will be no any complaint that before 48 hours, get your clearance to export. Then collaboration with the other government agencies such as some NAPDAC and all those people we are meant to be some and NAPDAC have mentioned must be reduced. We have to check to ascertain that what we are exporting is correct, what is right. In order not to get into their over there because of money. Then there's what we call we have to ensure agents code are properly used. All items, all those who want to export have their own agents code. So if you are importing something, you put different agents code, put different things. Now, it's kind of different something. Also, we not allow you to go. Not allow you to go. So you need to use the appropriate agents code for certain items. Then all the items to be exported are not under conditions. We make sure that the goods you want to export are not under conditions. Once you start down there and say anyone that is not allowed, we will not allow you to go. And finally, all the special agents only approved special agents are used. That's over. That the agent comes from recognized. If you go to another person, they will not allow you to pass your goods or export your goods. Thank you very much.
Patience, please, your endurance in holding through throughout. I noticed that we have not actually lost in terms of number, which means it's an interesting subject, and we hope that the next module will be more interesting than this. At this stage, we'll just take some few questions because I think that's the peak of the whole thing. No matter the English we have spoken since morning, if we don't address the gray areas, we will not be able to do it.
Níbo ni ọ́fíìsì àwọn NEPC wà lọ́sùn?
Mo fẹ́ kàn fún wa ní àpẹẹrẹ quality assurance document.
Ibi tó ń lọ á débẹ̀ ní àlàáfíà. Certificate tí some issue is to guarantee quality. Certificate tí NAFDAC issue is to guarantee quality àti bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ́ẹ̀ lọ.
Custom officer. My question is this. A rí i pé commodity tó wà báyìí táwọn èèyàn fẹ́ kó ní rice. Ṣùgbọ́n a rí procurement rice tó jẹ́ pé government fúnra rẹ̀ wọ́n ń tà láti gbé ká máa di ní Nàìjíríà ká bẹ́ẹ̀ máa rira ká bẹ́ẹ̀ máa lọ jẹ. Ṣùgbọ́n a rí i pé àwọn rice kan ti bìkan wá port gbọ́dọ̀ tí wọ́n seaport ní ọ̀pọ̀ ní other country. Kí ló ṣe sá tó jẹ́ pé níbi bọ́dà tí wọ́n ti satisfy rice tó jẹ́ pé ó dìgbà tí rice bá dé ìkiri kó tó ní wọ́n mú. Ẹ jọ̀ọ́, àwa sọ̀rọ̀ nípa economy. The economy ni pé a ní ẹ̀fẹ́ ṣe export nígbà kan, a rí nígbà kan tó kú bẹ́ẹ̀ sì ló gbé wa. Ṣùgbọ́n a rí pé rice tèmi bẹ́ẹ̀ ní oko tèmi ó dùn yọ rice 1960 to 75. Ṣùgbọ́n nínú rice wọ́n á lè má gẹ̀ máa kó wa. Ẹ̀yin ẹ wá sọ sá, kí ló dé tó fi jẹ́ pé kọ́tà fi máa ṣara mi ní gẹ́gẹ́ bí rice tó jẹ́ pé àgbèrè bí tó dẹ̀ yẹ ká máa rí jẹ tó jẹ́ ká tó lọ import ẹ̀ àtúmú wọn ní ìrè.
Coordinating, Nigerian Export Promotion Council. Kí lẹ lè ṣe láti mú kéka rọrùn? Tí a bá wo NAFDAC, SAN, Customs, CBAS, gbogbo ẹ̀ tẹ́ bá rí ẹ mọ̀ pé àwọn ọ́fíìsì tí ó tóbi tó kò sí rọrùn láti lọ wò láti gba certificate fún export. Mo sọ fún pé bí bá fẹ́ import lẹ́yìn tẹ́lẹ̀ ló di lọ làwọn rọrùn ju kí export lọ. Ṣùgbọ́n sí àwọn cables kan ò lè wà lọ́fíìsì yẹn tí ó mú kéka rọrùn bóyá recommendation sọ́dọ̀ ìjọba tí kò ní wá di pé gbogbo ẹ̀ á mọ̀ kò ní sáwọn ọ́fíìsì láti rí pé àgbàgbọ́ certificate.
As that is concerned, we have what we call one-stop shop. The one-stop shop is an office. In most cases, ó wà ní ilé-iṣẹ́ Nigerian Investment Promotion Commission. Tẹ́ bá débẹ̀, ẹ máa bá custom. Tẹ́ bá débẹ̀, ẹ máa bá immigration. Ẹ máa bá NAFDAC, ẹ máa bá NEPC. Nílò yàrá tó tó báyìí. So gbogbo nǹkan tẹ́ bá fẹ́ ṣe pẹ̀lú wọn ẹ lè ṣe. We have that kind of office in Abuja, and I think we have it in all the states. Tí NEPC ti ní regional office, but Lọ́ṣùn àti ní àǹfààní irúbẹ̀. But to bridge that gap, that is why we use this kind of platform to bring all the regulatory agencies under one umbrella to say exactly what is their role as far as trade facilitation is concerned. I believe we'll get to a stage where NEPC's presence will be in Osun, Tipe, Madeni, that's OSIC, the one-stop investment center, to address the issue you are saying. But pending material, I think what we are doing for now will fill, it will bridge the gap. Thank you very much.
I have two questions. Number one, to Mr. Okoye. I would like to know the meaning or the full meaning of DVPCS and where is that office? That's number one. Number two, to SOA. The SOA, Standard Organization of Nigeria. I can see, to me, many lapses in that organization. So I can see a lot of depreciation in the quality of product outside. And I cannot see the reason, the effectiveness of SON not to have changed all this depreciation and the value of what we are paying.
The certification of public society for exports. The state certificate you collected from certificate in cooperative alliance Kutamanga, the state. Show applicable for export. Is it or you have to go to national legislative CAC? Because the certificate you collect from the state is applicable for exports, or you have to go applicable one from CAC. That's what I'm saying.
Makes you to provide what we call the board of trustees. Those who are in charge of management like the board of directors. It also allows you to make provision for the constitution. These are the documents that we actually want. Because when the chiefs are down, we want to know who are those behind a particular company. For instance, maybe we receive a complaint from a company overseas that they are dealing with a company in Nigeria who has done this, who has done this. One of the things we will do is to go back into our archive and first of all come out with the list of the directors of that company. Then go after them. We are receiving of this complaint. If they refuse to them, we are hand over to the appropriate authority because they are going to do things that will affect the image of Nigeria and perhaps block that market for other intending exporters. So,
the subsequent seminars, especially at Yemawa, we have been practical, particularly packaging. Because some of the major export packaging key aspects. Number one. Secondly, then for wanting into vegetables, vegetable and fruit, vegetables, ṣé another certification wà tí wọ́n ní láti gbà kí wọ́n tó lè process export
They are the lecture on everything that surrounds export in a day. In fact, when we get to packaging, I can tell you for free, I am not a packaging expert. I'll bring in my colleague from Abuja, who is a certified packaging person, to come and discuss the issue of packaging with you. We'll get to the time we'll be talking about export finance. The time will come, we'll be talking about costing and pricing. So, the topic that I might discuss at a particular point in time, no matter determine who the facilitator will be. And if we have topics that requires practical, yes, if the marketing man is coming, I trust that guy for one thing. They will come with cartons, they will come with even prepare all these prepare something, come on, keep blue, and he will want to get you to understand certain things about it. For vegetable, I will leave that to.
Ní àwọn kẹ̀kẹ́ ṣáìdá àti àwọn kan tí a máa ṣe ìbẹ̀ bàbá ìlú ìrìnlẹ̀ kan pé sàbíkẹ́ ìdáńgbà ní state tó wọlé sọ́dọ̀ yìí àbí wọn ní ìgbà tó lọ sí ọ̀pẹ́ ìtàfẹ́ láti lọ bá wọn.
Ní state ìfún yà wọ́n wọ́n ẹni good good no good no good.
Tó ṣẹlẹ̀ lẹ́yìn pé mo sọ̀rọ̀ kan nígbà tí mo ṣe right kò sí anywhere tí ọgbọ̀dọ̀ gbé láti wọlé. Láti bá wọlé ní seaport ọgbọ̀dọ̀ mú bẹ́ẹ̀. Tó bá wọlé dọ́là ọgbọ̀dọ̀ mú bẹ́ẹ̀. Ọba sì wọlé láyé bí àbọ̀ ọba wọlé ọ̀rọ̀ ń bẹ wọ́n ní ìjọba náà tó fẹ́ ìkàtí jẹ́ foreign tax. Tí wọ́n wá sí mọ̀tòmọ́tò tí wọ́n kọ̀ sí láì méjì yẹn lè sọ pé òun ìpọ́tù lówó ẹ̀rọ kan yóò lòlù ẹ̀yìn pátápátá olùkẹ́kọ̀ọ́ sí Ghana yóò lòlù láìsí sílẹ̀ àwọn sí ní port. We arrested so many like that. Àdúgbò yìí, àárín rẹ̀ ọgbẹ́ ìkànnì síbẹ̀. Ìjọ aláwọ̀ abígẹ́gẹ́ ló wà níwájú. Àwọn equipment táwọn seaport tẹ̀ ń lò, ó wà difficult fún wa nígbà tí èyí ṣàkóso láti mọ gbogbo kẹtọ́ àti ọ̀tẹ́lá. Ọ̀pọ̀ sì fún wa. Àmọ́ nígbà tí ìjọba ti fòfin sí wípé ẹ má bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti wọlé o, wẹ́dá seaport ní o, airport ní o, láǹpọ̀dá ní o. O sì lè gbé láti wọlé kọ́ ọ̀sàkì ìdílé ẹ̀. Tẹ́lẹ̀ ni wọ́n ṣe àmánísì ní it's not possible. Kí ni ẹ̀rí ìjọba ṣe torí àwọn tí wọ́n ń ṣe ráìsì locally níjọba fi gbé ìyẹn kalẹ̀ láti ẹ̀kọ́ nígbà because ọ̀pọ̀lọpọ̀ àwọn tí wọ́n ń fi ráìsì lónìí wọn lọ lè gbà ní báńkì kí wọ́n fi ṣe kéde. Kí wọ́n bá ṣe láìsí ẹ̀ka lè fún ọba ta kò ní ẹni fẹ́ mú dá padà. Ó tún ọba mú dá padà nǹkan tí a fi ṣe kọ́lá náà báńkì ọgbà lọ́wọ́ náà ló ní fáfúrí pé wọ́n kọ́ bá mọ́lé tọ́ escape ní port tọ́ escape ní border tọ́ escape ní airport wọ́n ní wọ́n kírètì internal farm. Before Osogbo yìí àmì ọ̀sọ̀sẹ̀ ní ọ̀sọ̀ ní commando ní sóni wọ́n wò wà fáìlì ní a fi máìkì máa ń rà bọ̀tún á ní nǹkan tó ṣẹlẹ̀ ní a fi aláwọ̀ ìtàlápàtó ní yìí kan ní sí ní ibi wọn ò rí ṣe ní port wọn ò rí ṣe ní bọ́dà wọn ò rí ṣe ní airport tọ́ba dé kiri kọ́dà kọ́ba wọnú gbòòrò inú yàrá gọ́ọ̀mẹ̀ntì fún wa agbára tá a ní olùdí polisi lọ. Tá a bá fẹ́ lọ àbí sakwara ipe mo gbọdọ̀ mú sakwara tí yẹ máa tó pé kílẹ̀ wá sí ní sakwara tó wá kọ́sọ̀mù nídìí ẹ̀ ọ̀tá fọ ọmọdé àfẹsẹ̀ ni láìpọ̀ ká wá tọ́sẹ̀ dé nísìn ó sọ fún wa pé tó bá ti bọ̀ gbóró àbí níbi téèyàn bọ̀ ọmọ iléèwé ṣe kìíní kan tí ẹ bá ti kìíní kan ẹ má yìnbọn tí ẹ bá ti dùn bẹ́ẹ̀ bẹ̀rún bá wọlé ní mẹ́wàá lẹ́ bá mú ẹ̀mú mẹ́wàá yìí so that òfin ní ta ẹ̀mí ènìyàn lọ ó ní kò wọ́n ti kéèyàn ọ̀pá yìí fúnra wájú 1,000 bag of rice ìyẹn bá fi ẹ̀ bá bá àjọ wọ́n ti dá ìgbẹ́ nìyẹn. àmọ́ gbé láìsí wípé wọ́n àláwọ̀ rẹ̀ wọ́n sẹ́lútì àbí wọ́n mọ̀ sẹ́lútì wọ́n wọlé ní sọ́ọ̀tù kò sì fi jẹ́bẹ̀ ìjọba faramọ́ torí àwọn tí wọ́n gbé láìsí tó kálé kò lè bá àwọn gbé ta ọjà wọn ó sì yẹ kó máa ta ọ̀rọ̀ bá ta gbèsè yọ tẹ̀sí ọlọ́run oríṣi ní wọ́n fi nínú láìsí kékeré nínú ipò mi tí mo rí bá jẹ̀ yá ta.
ṣé àwọn ọ̀pẹ lẹ́ẹ̀kan tí mo sọ̀rọ̀ mo ní àwọn bọ́ọ̀dì kan wà sáńtà lọ́pẹ́ wò òkè òkun làwọn yẹn wà àwọn àti wọn àjọ máa fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ ṣé àwọn ọ̀pẹ pírẹ́sìdẹ́ntì ìbàdàn kò sí àní àyè ní port láti wo àwọn nǹkan tó bá wọlé láti ayé president Jonathan ni wọ́n ti mú àwọn agency kọ̀ọ̀kan kúrò ní port so láti ìgbà yẹn sọ́ọ̀lù sí ní port ṣùgbọ́n àwa pẹ̀lú àwọn sọ́ńkà tó wà lókè òkun yẹn a máa fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ ṣé ẹni àwọn náà ní láti ẹ̀ bára wa sàmà wọ́n ní láti ẹ̀ bára wa ṣé ẹni àwọn fẹ́ ra bí a tẹlifíṣàn la fẹ́ rà tàbí fíìsà tábà ti bò káyé kò ní lóko sọ́ńkà tàbí sọ́ọ̀n ẹ̀jẹ̀ ká fi product ẹ̀yìn sílẹ̀ ṣé ẹni ká bàbá wọn rà tó bá ní pèsè ilẹ̀ òkun àwọn náà máa mú bí a torí pé ọjà táwọn kó wọlé òkun àti necessary dispensation yóò jẹ́ kó tà ṣùgbọ́n táwọn náà bá ti rí kó cheap tá a lè bá wọn rà máa ń ọ̀rẹ́ ìjọ ọmọ máa tọ́ tó bá wù wọn náà máa gbélé wa lọ́wọ́ wọ́n ti rí wa bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n tàbá bá wọn rà wọn ní tà tí wọ́n bá lẹ̀ tà báyìí wọ́n máa ti gbé hàn bí a bá òkè ìyá àwọn bá mi lẹ́yìn bẹ́ẹ̀ ìyá bàbá àwọn bá mi lẹ́yìn bẹ́ẹ̀ wọ́n ní pé àwọn fẹ́ àwọn ṣe sóyà mi àbí nǹkan wọn á ṣẹ̀ ní kò sí ìgbà tó bá ṣe pé sówó lásán lẹ́ ń ṣe tó bá ẹ bá rẹ́jísítà lọ́dọ̀ wa tẹ̀lé wà sátífáì lóko yìí wà lára tábà lọ wo àwọn supermarket ọ̀gbọ́n tó ra máa ní ìsìnkú ọ̀nà kọ́ máa tà ló ti ẹ̀sáyà àbí nǹkan tí ò dá fáwọn yìí láti kọ̀ọ̀sán.
ẹ jẹ́ ká bẹ̀rẹ̀ rẹ̀ pé rọ́ọ̀sà rọ́ọ̀sà ẹ máa kọ́ mọ́ra rọ́ọ̀sà ní ọwọ́ ọ̀gá wa lórí láti bàtẹ́ ti pé ẹjọ́ kò láti ti dé láti ń káàkiri orí ó wá jẹ́ pé ẹgbẹ́ obìnrin àwọn yóò kó lé lórí pọ̀ ẹ̀lú òṣèlú akọ̀jù yóò ní fẹ́ ṣùgbọ́n gẹ́gẹ́ bí ọkùnrin tó ṣe rí tọ́lọ́ sí fún ní làákàyè tí wọ́n kọ́ tọ́kọ́ ara rẹ̀ tó jáde ilé tó dáa yóò mọ̀ fẹ́ káwọn èèyàn ga yóò fẹ́ káwọn èèyàn mọ̀nà yóò fẹ́ káwọn èèyàn mọ̀ báwo la ṣe dá dúró léyìí tó jẹ́ pé orin bàbá wa kọ́ wa níjọba tó sílẹ̀ wàhálà dé wọ́n ní ibi ìpa onígbèkú bẹ́ẹ̀ ṣùgbọ́n kàtà fi sílẹ̀ jago orí làbá kiri orí iṣẹ́ ti láti ṣiṣẹ́ lọ́ra yìí láti fi gbàgbà tó lù kà irú eléyìí òwúlò fún wa olùwọ́n yà padà etí wọ gángan ń gbè yẹ kò lè ṣe lọ́nà tó jẹ́ wípé owó ńlá yóò mọ̀ wọlé tì ọ́ àwọn náà tó bá kóra wa jọ bá ti wà ní cooperative kò sí táwọn gbé táwọn gbé jáde nígbà tá a lérò wọn tábà lọ́fíìsì wọn tá a rẹ́gísà wọ́n tó wá sọ́nà wọ́n rẹ́gì láti tọ́ wa lórí báyìí tó wúta rẹ̀ rẹ̀ ló kó máa wà pé ní péréte ìgbójú wọn nìkan mọ̀ wá mọ́ yà gbà tí ọdún mi ọlọ́ba ń bọ̀rọ̀ kẹ́ wọn kí fadé níjì nígbà tí wọ́n bẹ̀rẹ̀ láti gbàgbé sọ́dà gbà tí wọ́n mú àwọn èèyàn mọ́ra wọ́n kíá ní ìbẹ̀rẹ̀ àwọn àìpé ọ̀ya ju kẹ́nìkan wọn sáré kiri lọ ìfọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ sí pàtàkì ẹ dákun lórí iṣẹ́ tá à ń ṣe ẹ jẹ́ kí a fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ tábàtí wọ́n fọwọ́sowọ́pọ̀ afẹ́kù kínní yìí jáde ẹ jẹ́ ká rí ọ̀gá wa wọ́n tọ̀ wá sọ́nà ọlọ́run wa gbogbo àtẹ́wà lò ní iṣẹ́ yìí ẹ̀ní fọwọ́ kún ẹ̀sìn ní fi ẹsẹ̀ kún ẹ̀ní barapa gbogbo ọmọdé ìránṣẹ́ pátá yìí jáǹsó mọ́ gíga náà ní wọ́n náà máa jẹ́ wá tọrọ fún ọ̀gá wa tí wọ́n ń sọ pé káwọn kẹrù kan tí ò dá wọlé ìjọba bá ti fi ṣe ìjọba ti fòfin lẹ̀ òun mọ̀ wá bẹ́yìn náà ti fẹ́ bẹ́yìn ti ẹ̀yìn bẹ́yìn ti lè kú lọ́wọ́ ẹ̀yìn bẹ́yìn ti lé àrùn lọ́wọ́ ló wà ní igbó tì í ẹ̀yìn lè wá darapọ̀ mọ́ wa láti ìgbọ́ máa ń ṣe lọ yóò sì máa já sọpẹ́ ìjọba ìpínlẹ̀ Ọ̀ṣun àgbàdo àfọwọ́ òkúrò jẹ́ kí wọ́n máa rúgbọ́n wọn láàyè gbogbo tẹ́láwọ́ níjọ́ yọrí sí rẹ̀ ìjọba àpapọ̀ àgbàdo àfọwọ́ gbàdáwọ́ níjọ́ yọrí sí rẹ̀ èròǹgbà rẹ̀ tí wọ́n ní lọ́dún tó sì ní ìjọba ẹgbẹ́ fún wa káà ló wí gbà káà ló kọ̀ pẹ́ láhàlà wàlà àgbàdà
photograph ní iwájú ìta.